Waiting up when it all falls down. Waiting up when it all falls down.
Back today, boy.
It's the real ones, baby. We're back in the building. Welcome back.
That real music,
to
man.
another episode of Stoppage Time TV. Listen, Sunday evenings. Hey, you know the only place to be. Stoppage Time TV, home of the real, home of the football. Got a lot to discuss this week, boys. And listen, as usual, I'm with my bros, CultureCams. Stepping in for Mayowa, who's big up you and your little one as well, celebrating young birthday, you know what I'm saying? Big up doing daddy duties this week, but stepping in, of course, production. My man Liaz. People always saying, yo, they want you on the mic, so you know what I'm saying? We decided to get you on this week.
They can't get enough of me, apparently. Hey, it's always a pleasure, bro.
Hey, listen. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're throwing your likes in as you're coming in the stream as well, or if you're leaving as you're going. We'll be here for a while, trust me. Make sure you throw your comments in throughout as well. Send your super chats. Get involved in the conversation. We want to hear your thoughts because we got a lot of action to get through today, lads. Listen.
Thanks.
We got United, we got City, we got Arsenal, Spurs dropping points, Chelsea dropping points. Like this, it's a buffet today. So make sure you're getting involved in the chat. I can already see some of you going crazy in the chat. It's good. Get involved. Listen, and where else to start? But United, of course, it always seems like
We're always the last game, innit?
Always it seems like whenever we finish or whenever we start our streams, it's always a United game that's just finished. But
We're the main characters, bro.
Today it's you know what I'm saying?
Peaceful one, man. Hey, listen. I hope people don't think we're gonna spend long on United. Cause we ain't. You know what I mean? We ain't. This is just a run through. You know what I mean? A quick run through. There's a few things that people are talking about. But you know, it was a good win. You want to get those ones out, especially after a bad result.
Customary. All type of 3-point collectors.
Oh,
you man work today as well. Hey. Big up yourselves at home. It's customary on the show, of course. Participants, big up yourselves as well. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have some teams that take part. But listen, talk to me. 2-0, comfortable. Was it comfortable though? Because when you lot went 1-0 up after the first goal. Talk to me.
They definitely have me concerned a little bit here and there. I mean, there was some half chances for Nottingham Forest, but I felt overall United were the better team. They came out, deserved to win that game, created a lot of good chances. I think it was actually one of United's better performances as of late. So, yeah, I think.
Look, with Man United at the moment, everyone else dropped points in a way. You know what I mean? Well, Newcastle dropped, Spurs dropped points. So that was important for us to just get on the take, get a win. You know what I mean? Especially after the poor result against Sevilla.
Yeah.
So just get in and get out. You know what I mean? Because Nottingham Forest with the injuries at home, we just thought, you know, this might be one of them ones. We just go and drop points. Yeah. Something's happening to him. I think it pulls his groin, which is not ideal. So we just had to, at this point, just get the win, get out of there, and then we'll focus on everything else. But one thing that we don't do enough is capitalize on other people's results.
Thanks.
Today we did it. We feel good, you know what I mean?
Really,
I was gonna say,
it's all good. Good weekend for United.
I was going to say, I don't even want to spend too long on this game because there's so much else to get into. But within this game, I feel like there was one player that kind of really stood out for me. And I know production, obviously, usually we don't get seen. But today you're in front of camera, so I want to address you.
Of course.
That man, Anthony, on the wing today was the difference maker. First goal, second goal, played his part. Big performance.
Facts.
You've been someone who... not the biggest fan, should we say, but what did you make of kind of his performance today? And have you sold all your Anthony stocks? Can we get some confirmation on that?
I never always sell all my stocks. I keep maybe one.
After one good game, this is how it changes, eh?
All seriousness, right? I have basically aired my grievances about Anthony quite a few times. Like, I have a lot of concerns about his game that, let's face it, after a few good performances, which actually this last month, you were saying he's actually improved. I actually agree. The performances are getting better from where they were a month or two ago. I still share a lot of those same concerns that I do, but I have to be honest here. That's one of, if not his best performance this season, in my opinion, in terms of his directness, his incisiveness. I think he did really well. Like, people talk about the Bruno pass and the Martial pressing, but you have to give Anthony his credit for having the desire and the hunger to be there first for that second ball.
Yeah.
The goal that he creates for Dalot is brilliant, and it's something that I've wanted to see a lot more from Anthony in terms of he's being direct. He's not kind of like doing these little tricks on the sideline that almost never really get him anywhere. Like, he has a mission, go directly towards goal, good incisive pass to Dalot. And I thought just in general, right, I like what you said about him, Cam, in terms of the difference between perhaps him and Sancho, where Sancho is probably a more technically gifted footballer, but Antony has personality to him. Like, he has a character to him in terms of, even when he scores the goal, he's like, yeah, I'm him. He believes he's him. Whether you think he is or not, he believes he's him. And I think, I always say that about Garnacho too. That kind of personality and that kind of courage will bring you to a certain point, no matter how limited or unlimited you are as a footballer. So I'll give him his flowers today, bro. I think this is one of his better performances. But for people saying like, oh, like, what's boo now, or like apologize, like, I need to see this a lot longer. I need to see performances on top of performances on top of performances, and the output continuing as well.
That is the one thing I will say on him, though, is even when I feel like his confidence has been down, or when he's maybe not been firing on all cylinders, he's still got that attitude about him where he wants to take the ball on. The one thing I've got to give Antony, he never hides.
Yeah.
Every time, even when he's lost the ball 17 times, he'll still the 18th time say, come and give me that ball, I'll lose it again. But at least for me, it's that willingness to want to be there and actually put yourself on the line. So listen.
Half of the thing to be a Man United player, half of it is about your mentality. What's up there?
Yeah.
And regardless of what you think about Antony as a footballer or whatever, as Leah said, he doesn't hide away. As you mentioned as well, he's got the mentality that he believes that he should be here. And when you believe that you should be here, that's half of the job done, as I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's some people that have come to Man United and they've never really looked like they believe that they should be here. That you can even say the same thing with Sancho at the moment. A lot of the stuff that he does is quite passive.
Yeah.
I remember Mickey, and there's just a couple of Man United's players where I'm like, you guys don't really have the mentality. Do you know what I mean? But he looks like he has the mentality for it. So I'll give him that credit 100%. And look, if you're always wanting the ball, when I've said it on United, say mind and stuff, at least he wants the ball. He's not. One thing I hate about players is the ones that hide. You know what I mean? Don't hide. Like, if you're having a bad game, cool, you might have a pretty one come my way, flipping comp dropping, but at least you were on the ball taking shots. And I hate the ones where you're like, yo, oh, damn, he got subbed today. Well, where was he? You don't realise that he's on the pitch. Yeah, I hate them type of players. So big credit to him.
Dion Waiters squad, I'd rather go 0 for 30 than rather go, not shooting at all or something like that. But speaking of mentality as well, I want to touch on a little bit on the captain. Actually, no, Maguire was back in the side, so he was captain.
Yeah.
Not him, actually.
Grenache.
It's Bruno I want to talk on. And I said on SDS how I feel like this is his best season at United in terms of totality, what he's bringing to kind of completeness. You're having to ask him different roles, and he's playing them to a T. Do you think that as well? Do you think this is his best season, or do you prefer the output kind of wasteful Bruno?
I prefer this version of Bruno than I have of any other version of Bruno. You know what I mean? Now, the goals and stuff, I always keep saying his impact to Manchester United was huge. We can never deny that, especially when he first came in. The next season, all right, some people are going to say a lot of penalties, which there was a lot of penalties, but his impact to Man United was massive. You know what I mean? But this version of Bruno, now, don't get it twisted. He hasn't been perfect this season by any stretch. But in terms of just his discipline, in terms of just his understanding of the game, it seems a lot higher this season. Do you know what I mean? As you said, he's played multiple roles. Cool, playing on the left-hand side against Liverpool as a howler. But he's had some good moments on the right-hand side, in the 10, in centre midfield. And that's the one thing. The big question about Bruno is, could he play in the 8 when we need it? Or can he go full-time 8 so Man United can actually become a 4-3-3 team or whatever? Yeah. Because we feel like one of the only teams that actually play 4-2-3-1 anymore. So there was always that question mark over it. And lately, in the last couple weeks, I would say that he's looked pretty decent in the 8. Now, we still need better players around in the team and stuff. But he is, especially today, he took initiative. We didn't have Rashford out there. We didn't have a couple of players. But he took initiative. Him and Antony looked like they were said to each other, do you know what? We're going to be the ones to win us the game today. He created. He had chances. It was an all-round good performance, especially because of the disappointment on the weekend as well. He came off. We capitulated. It was kind of like... So to him just show, listen, this is the importance I am to this team.
Yeah.
It was big.
Are you surprised by that as well? Because I always feel like his time at United has always been defined by his actions in the final third. Yeah. It's almost been like at points as well where they've played him false 9 just to be like, hey, the less we see you on the ball and the further up the field you are where you can actually make the difference, that's where you can make the difference. But now he's almost being trusted to be like, I'm seeing people saying, nah, I like him in this deeper role. Are you becoming a fan of that as well?
I don't know. I need to see Bruno more in this deeper role against teams that press us a little more to be fully convinced. Because I look at the game against Everton and even Brentford.
Newcastle, he had a bad game.
No, but I'm talking about the good games he's played. I'm talking about, so exactly. So the games that he's played really well in, he's looked exceptional. I can't doubt that. But Everton, their entire game plan was just let us play. So he has a million years on the ball, and he has this amazing passing range. Of course, he's going to look brilliant. So I need to see it long term, again, just like Anthony, to really believe in what I'm seeing. But I can't take it away from
No, 100%. Now, don't get it twisted. No one's out here saying, hey, that's our number 8 found for next season. We moved. That is never the case.
But it's giving you more hope in order to say, like, you can play a 4-3-3.
Absolutely.
You can be more flexible. You actually can trust him on the ball.
The thing with Bruno, bro, is that one thing I've always loved about Bruno, I've never been a huge fan of his game. Like, I like him, but it's always been like, do I love him? And the thing I always love about Bruno is that he will sacrifice for the team, bro. He's always team above me, even though he has these amazing numbers. Like he's not afraid to go play the 8, where he's perhaps less involved in the final third. If he has to do the goal scoring thing, he'll go on and do it. Like I think he just wants to win, bro. I think that's really his motive. So I got
Bruno is an interesting player because the qualities that he has, it's hard to kind of find in other players.
Exactly.
He's an automatic creator. Like people have to give him that. He is an automatic creator. No matter where Bruno plays, he will create chances at a crazy volume, bro. Like I think if you look at the chances created by Man United this season, he is like miles above whoever it is. Last 5 years, like he's in terms of chance creation, he's been sitting with KDB, probably just under KDB for the rest of the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Year after year after year. So it's hard to find. Bruno's a very special case, like, because you take him out and say, all right, I'll bring in somebody that's more retention and a better technical ability and keep the ball. Are they going to give us the same output? So Bruno's such a case. It's just about how do we get the best out of him? How does he understand that? All right, the way we can succeed as a team is by me being a little bit more reserved, but still continuing that. That's the best version we can get. If it's like just be our creative outlet 24/7, don't care about anything else, then it's an issue. But it's just about trying to hone in and refine those qualities.
Nah, listen, and before we kind of wrap up on this game, I'll just read out a couple of super chats I got sent in as well. Dashmate says, I capped about being a doctor that day.
This is from the United State of Mind when Lissandro, we thought he had gone down of an Achilles, and this guy was saying, looks like a metatarsal to me, and I was like, none of us are doctors here. He's like, well, I'm a doctor, mate. And then it turned out that it was a metatarsal.
Dashmate, big up yourself, man.
Hey,
fair play.
Big up Dashmate.
You know what's mad, because with that comment, that is so funny, because with that comment, I added Liaz in our group chat, and I said, Dashmate.
Hey, you're talking to GC,
He didn't even have to admit it. He could have just ran with it. I would have thought he's a doctor.
Bro, he should have come back like, it's a bit today, it's a grade 1 straight.
He's talking like just
get
tough cookies.
You should have run with the gimmick. You should have run with the gimmick.
That's jokes.
Big up Mike for the super chat as well. He says, question for Liaz and Cam. Why did you never say Grealish was a flop after his first season with City, but have different energy for Anthony? And Grealish was already familiar with the Prem.
It's about how you rate the player, though, isn't it? It's about how you rate the player. I had concerns about Anthony's game going into the season when I wasn't familiar with him in general. But then when I saw him, you saw a couple of videos, saw a couple of his games, I was like, I don't think this guy is very suited to Man United, first of all, or the Premier League, the way he is. So when you start seeing something that you thought you've already like clocked on before, you're gonna be way more like, yeah, I knew it, I told you so. Don't get it twisted, guys. This ain't Anthony's not turned the corner here. He's just putting in a few good runner performances. Whereas Jack Grealish, for me anyway, I had evidence that, yeah, this guy's a baller. And you've got the evidence of Pep reprogramming the first season. You've got kind of that fallback. So that's my difference. I just walked into the season with doubts about Anthony, and I was seeing it. So you're like, that's the reason.
For you?
No, I echo those same thoughts too. For me, it's not a case of like, every single player gets the same treatment. Like they'll get one. I always say, if I look at a player, it shouldn't take for me 12 to 18 months to determine what kind of player he is. I feel like from the jump, you can tell what kind of player he is and say, okay, with time, you can refine that a little bit, but you know who you are to begin with. So that was the difference for me between Grealish and Anthony. But even for Grealish, right? Last season, I wasn't hiding and saying, Grealish is still amazing. Like he was struggling last season. And I was even one of the people saying, is this maybe the one player Pep can't reprogram because does he really fit into the system? Credit to him, he's gone on, he's doing great things.
But this is the thing. This is what Man United fans do, right? When you have a good performance, we think everything is rosy. Now Anthony's turned the corner. He's a successful signing. Now that's not the case. the same concerns you had last week are the same concerns we have this week. The corner hasn't been turned. We shouldn't get too carried away, because he'll go have 2 bad games the next game, and then now everyone's opinion changes again. Just see how it goes. He's having a good run of games. That's the least that we can expect. I mean, I'd hope. Yeah, I mean, we're nearly coming to the end of the season, so let's see, man.
Big up Dodo for the super chat as well. He says, Dallo looking like Dennis Irwin today, the GOAT United fullback.
We'll talk soon, man. We'll talk soon.
There's things in the pipeline, you know what I'm saying?
Don't even talk too much.
Don't talk.
Listen, make sure you're subscribed to all the socials, FTBL on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow all the personals as well as on socials. There's plenty of big things coming from now till the end of the season. And then even after the end of the season, trust me, you do not want to miss these things. Just Waffling sends in a super chat as well. He says, Liez, Cam, besides Rash, Casse, Butcher, Varane, any other must-stay players that would be part of the team competing at the level of City, Pool and Arsenal?
Can you repeat the names?
Yeah.
So he said Rashford, Casemiro, Lisandro and Varane. Outside of those 4, are there any guarantees basically?
Is Varane a guarantee for you?
Varane for me is a great defender, but it depends on what we have around as well. Can he be that kind of guy that's in our team that probably will have the lowest technical ability? We can get away with it. Let's say like in a similar way to maybe you could say Ruben Diaz. Easily, he's one of their best defenders, but he's probably on their starting 11. He's probably the worst technical ability in the starting 11. Can it be a situation like that? Then cool. If we have low retention everywhere here, then you look at Varane and you start wondering, we need better build-up coming from the back, blah, blah, blah. So I think Varane can be part of a great Manchester United team, but it also depends on what we have all around. Because I rate Varane. I think he's a fantastic defender.
I think, honestly, even those 4, bro, I would say only in my eyes, only Lisandro and Casemiro are certainties that I look at that say, okay, in a few years, I can see you being part of like a United winning team. The other ones, I still have question marks. Yeah, even Rashford, you know what? I still have question marks over it. Like, should we be paying him 400,000? Should we be extending him? Because like then that means he has to be like a key player in that team. I look at Lisandro and Casemiro. I have no doubts about it. The rest of them, you still got to prove stuff to me. It's still got to be.
I still got to see. From a technical point of view, Lisandro, and stuff. But hey, it depends on the side that we construct, man. Honestly, it's hard to answer. But if you're talking about quality of player right now, just the profile of the player, then But it really depends on the side Ten Hag tries to construct, man.
Hey, it's interesting. Well, that win leaves you lot in 3rd place now anyway, 59 points.
Move
back in the comfort zone of top 4, but we'll move on now to the other game that happened today. As I'm sure some of you Arsenal fans are low-key switching off right now. Please stay. This might be
Ash,
you.
where are you, Ash? I better see super chats, Ash.
Where's them super chats?
Listen.
Ring them super chats.
We had West Ham versus Arsenal 2-2. And Arsenal again in another game, 2-0 up, dropping a 2-goal lead. What did you guys make of it?
I'll let you go first.
Look, man, what did Fergie say? The league title is starts in April. And it's been a shaky start to April for Arsenal, man. Look, I've been someone that every time Arsenal scores or wins, I'm the first person to tweet out champions elect. Because I just looked at this team that have been on a roll all season long. They're putting in the best performances in the league, or they were up to this point. They have players firing on all cylinders. There's a belief. I believe that there was a mentality that was kind of starting to shape up in that Arsenal team. And you look at the tail end of the season where the big dogs get held accountable. The guys who have been here before rise again, even if they've been struggling in the past. And Arsenal look like a team that are exactly what they are. A bunch of guys who are very young, inexperienced, and haven't been here before. And their age and inexperience is showing. And I didn't tweet today, even 2-0 up, Champions Elect. I didn't tweet it. People were asking me, where's Champions Elect? I can't say it anymore, guys. I can't say it anymore.
Champions Elect. We was getting Arteta's men. We was getting, best footballing team in the world. And all season, I maintain, listen, the season is long. Especially, I always said, April, the fixtures that are coming up, you don't know how this is going to go. I said, but people were printing shirts midway in the season. Christmas time, they had, hey, we're going to win the league.
Guys, we're talking about meet and greets at
trophy
parades.
Hey, Fuad, are you coming to the parade at the end of the season? Come, man, it'd be nice, some brotherly love. Bukayo Saka. Where were you today?
Where's he been for a few weeks?
Uncomfortable conversations need to be had today. I'm sorry. That penalty miss today, when Arsenal were 2-0 up in that game, comfortable all day. And as you said, that performance almost looked like Champions League. Similar like last week against Liverpool. That first 30, 40 minutes, dominant. I don't know what happened today, but you see number 5? Shaky warrior.
What? We're Deckers in the room.
Hey.
Everyone's a general till the real generals are in the room. You get me?
Today, the lights were very bright. And a lot of guys who were getting a lot of shine this season, today crumbled under those lights. A few of them. Number 5.
Agreed.
Deckers. Bullied. Mr. Hairline at the back. Best centre back in the world, they were screaming just 2 weeks ago. Some people say, hey, we never said that. Just go check your tweet search bar. You'll find plenty of those tweets, I'm telling you. And this is the thing. It was almost like the crowning too early. Gabriel today showed his bozo gene. Everybody kept saying, oh, it's not there no more. He's defeated the allegations for that penalty. Paqueta of all people as well. It's like, you knew that brother was never going to score from there. What are you crumbling him for?
Come on, don't do
that. Come on. But then comes the kind of, I feel like the big crescendo moment. You get the respite at halftime. You come back out, penalty on the spot. This is the big moment, almost like a defining moment, shall I say. I remember last week or the week before when Zinchenko was crying up on the bench, I said, ooh, careful with pictures like these. They could come back to haunt you. And then today, Saka. Previously, they said you let your country down. Today, you let your club down. Please explain to me. What was that? Because was that a defining moment for you? Like
air ball.
Was that a defining moment?
Listen, we said air sacks. But listen. Nah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I think that might be a defining moment. I think that might be a defining moment for Arsenal. Now, we've seen Saka bounce back from a penalty miss and, you know, started taking penalties and we praised his mentality and stuff. But the next game's coming fast. Then the big game is coming. And this is a title race where now the scrutiny, the pressure is way higher. You ain't been in this position for Arsenal.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, you're the hero, you're the boy wonder. And it's not all about Saka, by the way. It's about it does. It's about what it does for the rest of the team.
Yes.
And, you know, anytime somebody misses the whole target, I said it with Kane when in England. I say it, when you completely miss the target, I genuinely think that comes down to nerves. I don't think these men of this quality will just be missing the target unless it comes down to nerves. Salah missing the target when against Arsenal. Yeah. Kane's penalty. It's always these big moments and you're like kicking it wide. I'm like, he can take that penalty 10 more times. He'll never kick it wide. So those moments make me think you're nervous. And when I saw Saka, his face afterwards, bro, it looks like he just wanted the ground just to take him with him. You know what I mean? And look, it's about what it does to the rest of the team. You have now bottled 2 goal leads back to back in a title race where Manchester City are not just winning games, they're blowing people away. They're making everyone be like, oh, goodness sake, they're so good. This person's getting praised. This person. Haaland's getting onto the record. Mate, it is party. They're ready for a party soon. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when you have a team that have the experience, that have been there, that have done that, on your neck, and then you're missing penalties and dropping 2 goal leads, listen, the Arsenal fans can try and act calm as much as they want. They haven't been. They've been absolutely melting down. But I don't blame them. I don't blame them. This is one of the fixtures in this race that when they did that little map of Arteta and Pep race for the title, this was a W, bro. Yeah. This was a dub. So for them to drop points away to West Ham played on Thursday. There's nothing more than a disastrous result. It's a disastrous result. Now Man City win the next game, 1 point behind. And the next game, Man City's next game will be against Arsenal.
That's spooky. And
at Etihad.
Let me ask you, do you even... I know Saka's probably got an incredible record on penalties, so it's not like I don't want to do like an overreaction to the penalty miss. But Is there a moment where you think kind of like Jesus maybe should take the penalties?
Nah, I don't think so, because I think Saka, again, like, he is Arsenal's main man. I understand what you're saying. Like, give the goal scorer, give the striker.
Yeah.
I get that, but Saka has an impeccable record since that Euro. So like, I would actually, like, if Saka backed away from the penalty, I'd be like, yo, what, you're not built for this moment? I don't mind all of that. Like, for me, I'm like Cam, bro. If you, like, these players, they're the best in the business, bro. Missing the entire target is unheard of, bro. Like, that's nothing technical. That's nothing Jay's. Like, it's just you're not built. Do you think
the pressure is starting to get to some of these players? Like, when you see that kind of unorthodox, I thought Gabriel wasn't the worst today as well. I thought Holding was definitely showing his nerves today, for example.
I think, do you know what it is, yeah? Arsenal, which has been a big praise for them, is that they have gone on. I wouldn't say unchanged, but this is what Ten Hag was trying to say the other couple weeks ago, that Arsenal have had the fortune of being able to name injuries. No, they had injuries, but they were able. So, for example, Jesus went down, let's say week 5. They were able to have the same team like 9, 8, 10 weeks in a row, let's just say, for example. He was just basically saying that Man United haven't had that opportunity because each week they have to change. The facts and stats were there. Arsenal were the most unchanged 11 in the Premier League. So I don't get what the outrage about that comment was in the first place. But this is what it shows. Look at the panic that Arsenal fans are going under now that Saliba's down. Now that Zinchenko's down. Other teams have had to deal with this all season. And that is the problem. And now that you see it, you see that Arteta was very reliant on his unchanged 11. Whether that had Jesus in it or not. It was the unchanged 11. And now that there's a little bit of you come in, you come out, you did... We're seeing 2-goal leads being dropped and we're seeing nerves start to creep in. And now we've seen City go from, was it 7 or 8 points behind? To now they're 4 points with a game in hand. That is what you call clawing back a title race. And this is the point that they were trying to make, that Ten Hag was trying to make and got backlash over. Yeah. And now Arsenal fans are saying, we need this. Please, Saliba, we need you back. Some teams haven't had their centre-half for a long time. Yeah. That's just the way it goes. So
that's true.
Yeah, bro, that's the issue. That's the issue they're facing.
You make it their title hopes where it stands right now.
Their title hopes, it's hanging by a thread, bro. Honestly, like, again, me and Cam did an FTBL culture you guys will see this week where we're talking about City versus Arsenal and how I actually wanted Arsenal the entire season to win the league because how much I don't like City. And I've been happy to see Arsenal look like they were set for the title.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it anymore, bro. I don't see how Arsenal goes to the Etihad and gets the result they need there, bro. City are on this crazy momentum. I'm sure we'll talk about them in a bit. They're on this crazy upwards momentum. Arsenal are on a crazy downwards momentum. They're about to clash. They're about to meet.
Yeah.
I don't see any other result than City beating them, eclipsing them, and winning their third in a row.
I mean, listen, the way Arsenal can go and bounce back from this, like, you'd expect them to go beat Southampton. You would expect
have to. Yeah.
Right now, if they drop points to Southampton, it's over. But you would expect them to beat Southampton. Now it comes down to the City game. And now they could go and do the maddest Champions response we've ever seen and go to the Etihad and win. If they do that, unreal. But the chances of that for me, I cannot see anything other than
the form he's in.
I can't see anything other than a City win at the Etihad. And whatever that means for the table, it means it is what it is. But I just can't see Arsenal getting a result over there. If they get it, big credit to them, but I just can't see it. And they've now, City, and with all due respect to Arsenal, they're not as good as Liverpool. They're not as good as the great Liverpool team.
It's true.
So City will be looking at it like, we've got down better teams before.
It's true.
We've got down a better team before, and we'll get this team
This is
down.
what I said. When it gets to that City game, the last thing you want is for City to win that game and draw the gap to 2 points. Because I said, that level of pressure, I don't know if this Arsenal team are experienced enough to deal with that.
But you know,
and
City,
I think City know how to do that, chasing and hunting down. Now you look at it, the gap's even going to be less than that. Was it 1 point?
The thing is, City beats Arsenal, they still have a game in hand. If City wins all of their remaining games, they are the champions. Arsenal, it's no longer in their hands.
It's no longer in their hands, yeah. So it's crazy.
And what was that record again? There's like a stat that in the last 10 games of every season that Pep has been in the Premier League, they haven't dropped. They've dropped like only like a couple games in that whole time. Like, so basically, on this in the last stretch.
Yeah,
it's in the last stretch. You know, in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And you give the baton to Bolt.
To the real one.
It's over, mate. You know what I mean? You guys are close now. Bolt, bring it home for Jamaica, please. That's how it is.
City in these last 10 games, the only times they've ever dropped points is when it wasn't a competition, bro. Like, they basically got 100 points one time. They dropped points to United. They could have won it with 8 games left. They dropped points towards the end in 2021 when Liverpool were, like, basically falling off. So when it actually matters, when City are in a close to the death title race, they don't slip up.
I think you said that last week as well. It's like when it's on the line,
do or die.
Yeah, do or die.
They don't
Death rate beam on the world.
Bro.
City don't lose them games.
They don't lose them games. But like, I do think I questioned last week, right? And I said, I don't know if I said it on camera, but I said, Arteta, don't let these players down. And when I said that, and it's the same thing when I say with Ten Hag sometimes. Does anyone understand the substitution of Jesus?
No.
The Jesus and Partey at the same time?
Jesus and Partey at the same time. Partey,
I thought wasn't having a great game.
He wasn't having a great game.
Jorginho maybe his calmness, bring him on. And to be honest, I understood it because this is kind of why you signed him. In games like this, when it's chaotic, Partey's not fit, you can bring in his calm, experience, winning.
All right, cool. But when in moments, right? In moments where you've missed a penalty, it's 2-1, they're making it a slug. Like, West Ham are going for it. You look to the side and you see 2 of your best players getting subbed. Bro, it's not going to fill the team with confidence.
No.
Yeah.
It's not going to... If I'm in the Arsenal position, we just missed the pen, all of that, and I see Partey and Jesus coming off at the same time... I don't know. I don't know.
Now, here's the thing. Last week, I heard it. When
Did Jesus play the full match against Liverpool?
Kivior, I thought this week, though, Jesus, I thought, was playing well, but I understand he's just coming back from an injury as well. You can't run him into the ground.
Jesus was balling, bro.
But Trossard and Jorginho coming on, I still thought that should be able to keep the quality up. I know in January, since they've come in, we've been saying, these guys have been quality, especially Trossard.
But Fuad, bro. All right, cool. You say that. One, Jesus was having a good game, first and foremost, right?
So would you take on maybe Saka then?
Hold on. Potentially, he wasn't playing well.
That's 2 games against Liverpool and now against West Ham, where Saka has probably been the worst of the front 3, and he's been the one to stay on.
Look, you take off Jesus, and you take off Partey. Now, Arsenal brought in Zinchenko, they brought in Jesus, and you look at Partey, right? These are the 3 guys in the team who have won, you probably look at for experience. Zinchenko, 4 Premier Leagues at City. Jesus, 4 Premier Leagues at City. They've brought this winning mentality. Zinchenko's not on the pitch. Partey's the next one. I always thought, is Partey potentially going to be captain? Apparently, he's kind of a quiet guy. But you're still going to look at him as in that leadership. So now 3 of their leaders are not on the pitch.
That's a shout.
They're not on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? That's how
I just think of United back
Nelson
in the day.
and inshallah, he tried to roll the dice at the end.
I just think of United and City, right? Like in these do or die games. Maybe City, they rotate a little more, but I think of the great United teams. Fergie would never take off Ronaldo. Fergie would never take off Rooney. Fergie would never take off.
But maybe that's why he's stuck with a Saka.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. No, you know what? You're right there, but I don't know. I'm with Cam. Partey and Jesus, especially the way Jesus has played the last 2 games. He's been one of their best, if not their best attacker. Yeah. Take them off in games where you need a goal, where you need someone to take over. I think.
And the thing is, you know, in a team against like West Ham, what do West Ham want to do? They want to get in the mixer. Come, let's fight. You know what I mean? Arsenal doing how are we going to make this a battle? Cool. They made it a battle. I think Jesus is one of them players that's up for it.
He likes
it. And I also think Partey might, but Partey wasn't having the greatest game. But I still think he's somebody that's up for it. You bring on flimsy Jorginho and Trossard. And, all right, cool. Hey, barbecue chicken. You know what I mean? That's what I'm
listen,
saying.
for real. And you know what? Listen, as much as we're kind of talking a lot on Arsenal as well, I do want to touch on West Ham as well. Because
of course.
After that first 10 minutes, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I even tweeted, I was like, yo, David Moyes, can you please give this team some life? Yeah, like some resuscitation. But literally what you said there, I think once that penalty was given, their mentality changed completely. They said 2-1 going in at halftime. Let's try and make this our type of game, if anything. We're the ones at home. And I felt like they almost suckered Arsenal into that. Let's play physical. Let's play some long balls. Kufa, I thought in the second half was incredible, the way he was getting onto
keeping everyone on and all that.
Yeah, I can't at first. But it was like Martinelli was eating the first half, second half now, you're doing your thing. So the switch, the reaction for me from West Ham is the thing I was most impressed, especially considering how bad they've been all season. To come back against a team that's top of the table.
Yeah, I mean, and they played on Thursday, got a good result away from them. I was
tired legs.
I was expecting 4-0. Honestly, I was expecting.
You said it 4-1. You was like, yo.
Yeah, when they scored, I was like, oh, it don't matter. It's still gonna be 4-1. I'm surprised. One thing that I'm surprised about is that they matched them physically. But that's in terms of they matched them running, and this is what Arsenal fans celebrated all season.
Right.
we don't want the Europa because we want fresh legs. FA Cup, it don't matter. We want fresh legs.
We impersonate people.
Do you know what I mean? So,
They're all nerds,
bro.
In the side, they're all nerds.
But like,
I don't got a deep voice or nothing.
well, we want the Europa often, so we can have some fresh legs, yes. No, but in all honesty, like, they were celebrating going out of all the competitions because of fresh legs. And West Ham, who played on a Thursday in Belgium, is it Ghent in Belgium? Yeah, in Belgium, come back and they look just as fresh as you. What's the answer for that?
I don't want to trigger Arsenal fans by saying this or get them upset, but does this not, though, kind of build up the reputation that Arsenal have had for the last 20 years, bro? Since that Henri Vieira team basically disassembled. Arsenal, at their very core, are soft, bro. I don't want, because like, I think it's a different team, it's a different mentality, but you're looking at the last 2 or 3 games now where it's crunch time and where you're getting pressured by teams that want to be physical, they want to be dynamic, they want to be aggressive of you, and they're kind of collapsing, bro. Against Liverpool, they could not cope with them. That second half.
These are the moments where you're gonna need players and the manager, but it's hard because the manager, he's a new manager, he's young, blah blah. But this is where you're gonna need the characters to really rise up.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen great Man United teams bottle. The chances of a average age 23-year-old Arsenal team bottling is way higher than other title running teams as well. So they just need somebody. They need to just get together and just realize you got to take this one game at a time. It feels with the fan base as well. They are looking way too much at the results. We're doing too much calculation.
What you telling them? One game at a time.
Bro, you know what I'm saying?
Wow,
That's what I call them
madmen. First they call you crazy, then they understand.
That's the thing. Yeah, look, they were talking about trying to take move in silence. You're sounding.
You lot can take this one.
Yeah, I mean,
Turkish.
That's the thing, because but really and truly, we're seeing way too much calculation.
Yeah,
I'm seeing all over the internet. This, and if we win this many games, we will end the season on 93, and they will end the season on 92. All this type of stuff. You got to take it one game at a time, win each one, and it feels like the players are thinking. It just looks like the players are thinking too far ahead, because Arsenal go 2-0 up. If this was match week 16 and Arsenal go 2-0 up, they're winning the game 4-0 if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
So you cannot put it down to anything other than. It's getting to squeaky bum time.
Yeah, and this same thing happened last year, let's be honest, in the top 4 race. That kind of run against, was it Palace, Brighton, Newcastle, and then us. And they kind of, within that 3-week span, they went from favourites in the top 4 race to kind of capitulating out of it. And same thing again this year.
History matters.
Time comes.
History matters, right? And in these moments, City are thinking, we've been there, we've done that. We are City. We can watch all the tapes of when we have done that. And by the way, in those tapes, KDB's in that tape, John Stones is in that tape, Edison is current players. Arsenal, you can look at tapes, but every man's retired. You can look at tapes of StoppageTime.
Zinchenko on that tape, they'll say.
You know what I mean? You can look at tapes, but Sol Campbell's in that tape. You know what I mean? Thierry Henry's in that tape. It's not you, man. The only tape that you, man, can look at is when top four was on the cards and you didn't make it. So that's the difference. The history of Arsenal at the moment is everybody knows in these moments that Arsenal, it gets a squeaky bum time. They collapse. And they've collapsed. And we've seen an Arteta team do this for the top 4 race. City, they can't relate. They can't relate. And that's the issue.
Uncomfortable conversations. Well, listen, before we move on to another set of bottlers, let's get through some super chats, actually. Huh? Yeah. Right. What we got?
Super chats.
The Bruno disrespect, says Thomas James. Appreciate you. TBG says, Arsenal fans celebrating Zinchenko injury. I hope you're satisfied. No control, no tempo. Tierney also lost Bowen on the goal, and it won't be scapegoated. Bottled it. Holding no composure. Always playing long ball. Big ask now.
Arsenal fans doing player wars now.
Yo, but the thing is, I'm not going to lie, Arsenal fans, I had a couple of DMs of people not wanting to speak publicly about Saka, and in my DM saying, hey, Cam,
can you do the speaking for us?
You know that shout when you said you don't know if he can get World Club? I'm like, you shame me publicly. Don't come in time. My private.
Public apology, please.
I don't even want an apology. You man are getting excited.
He hurt you. He hurt you again, didn't he?
You man are getting excited, but I'm like, hey, don't start trying to come in my DMs on a humble thing.
Yeah.
But in public, you're shaming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like that.
Big up Tina as well, regular in the chat. She says City has a game in hand and has to host the Gunners at home. Typical Arsenal. Flying high until they fall on the sword. LJ Brown sends a super chat as well. He says, can we talk about Fuad's 2014 pick and how it makes him look like a CBBC presenter?
Bro, you're lucky. Because, you know what's funny? You know what?
Nah.
You're so lucky because Isak he jumped a stick. No one.
No.
I was like,
Nah, do you know what? There was 1 or 2 people done it. Yeah, I saw it. It didn't get traction. I was like, get in.
You're lucky as hell, bro.
I need to know what standard that was in that.
Look at it, hey! Look at it, hey!
What you're talking about?
This is it. They don't want to see me succeed.
If you had winning player of the year, that must have been the margin.
They weren't outside. Oh, look at this! Last season off.
I'm staying out of it.
I don't know what division that was in, bro. That man definitely didn't have football boots in that, bro. I don't know. There was a book bags as the goal next in it.
We was at it, you know what I'm saying?
Don't kill me, man.
Player of the year, players player of the year. Listen, we got
Who was holding it
your
too?
peers.
Yeah.
Aye, listen, that's not.
Feeling,
It's a different type of feeling.
Hey, this guy is KDB.
I don't gas me. Hey, just waffling says Haaland going for the scoring title versus Saka. Ooh. Redemption coming off another big missed penalty. Pep the sensei, Arteta the student. With the title on the line, I will be there, no matter.
That's a little poetic from just
Hey,
waffling.
listen, I like that.
Repeat that.
He says Haaland going for the scoring title versus Saka. Redemption coming off another big missed penalty. Pep the sensei, Arteta the student. Title on the line, I'll be there.
I will be there, yeah.
Hey, fairs. And listen, it's only time now to move to the other side of North London.
North London.
Sorry. Let me stay on the title race, actually.
Yeah.
We'll get to you in a little bit.
This guy's dying to talk about Son and...
But nah, yeah, sticking to the top. City v Leicester, what was it? Dean Smith's first game in charge of
Can
Leicester
I just say
as well?
something about that, right?
Go on.
That's a death wish, bro. I'm so sorry. Leicester 19th hiring Dean Smith to save them. You've written your death wish right there.
I mean, you didn't learn from Norwich last year?
Bro, he almost got Villa down there, bro. VAR, Grealish would have been a United player, and Dean Smith would have been homeless, bro.
Yeah.
Jobless.
Gosh, why did Jack have to be on the saviour thing? But it is what it is.
Hey.
I mean,
speaking of Jack, though, I want you to roll me on this City game because a few of your boys were shining here.
You two are turning into Pepites, by the way. I've been praying both of you guys.
he is a self-confessed Pepite now.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Welcome.
Listen. Sometimes the hate has to become respect.
Of course, bro.
And I can't deny. And I always stuck to Pep this year because people were writing him off this year. They were propping up this little Arteta Donny here. I was like, hey, as just waffling said, the student, the master,
Sensei.
But Sensei today, I mean, the first goal I want to touch on. John Stones' first goal of the season, bruv.
Hey, big up.
Left foot. Bomba. You two have been going nuts this season, obviously. Like,
not him.
Hold on. No. I can't like. He's been trying. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, you see them.
You know what?
There. You see them.
Has
man
been driving the bus. He tried to jump on the back last couple of weeks.
Saying, man.
It's
unbelievable.
Where's your oyster?
It's actually
card?
unbelievable.
Oyster card? Where's your oyster? You're on this bus, bro. Where's your oyster?
I just got to use my credit card.
No, but he's obviously had another boss game as well. Haaland, I think, what is that now? 40 goals, I think.
47 goals.
Yeah, seven out of the last 7 penalties as well. He's bagged. Like they seem like a machine that's unstoppable at the moment, bro. What is it going to take to stop them?
Real Madrid. That's the only thing that can stop them.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're only thinking Real Madrid's Champions League heritage. That's the only thing that you're thinking that can stop them at this moment because they're just in the groove. And the worst thing is, they've kind of reshifted the way they started the season. They started the season a bit differently. Pep has changed the formation. He's brought in John Stones now. He's doing the whole inverted thing. He's found a way to get the best out of keeping, at least ensuring that Grealish is at least at 75% of what he was at Villa, let's just say. I wouldn't say it's still Villa Grealish, but it's 75% of it. How does he maximize KDB? KDB was kind of going through the motions.
Yeah.
Now he looks like he's ready for it. He has found a way to get everyone at their optimal level again. Do you know what I mean? And when Haaland is doing this and chasing records and trying to create history, when you're part of that, it's fun. But I remember when it was with Man United and it was Cristiano, and you were just hearing every week, this record is broken, this record is broken. Everyone is just here for the ride to help you create history, bro. And that's how it felt. I remember that 42 in the Champions League final. It was like, 42 goals. Like, what the hell is going on? Do you know what I mean? And they're just in that moment, man. Like, Haaland is infectious. I speak to Big Steve and that on the DMs. They're confident. You know what I mean? They're just like, listen, like, we feel it. You know what I mean? We feel it coming. And as I said, they've played in this title race. They've come up against a harder opponent in Liverpool. So I just don't see what can get in their way. You know what I mean? It's only them that can get in their own way at this point. And when you've got a striker scoring 47 goals, and I said it earlier, he ain't changed anything really in himself in terms of scoring. The difference is everyone else now is like, let me raise my game. Haaland's been scoring every single week. You know what I mean? The only difference is now his goals are starting to feel more decisive and stuff because the team are better. Do you know what I mean? They've raised their level. So
it's true.
Do you feel like he's possibly subbed him off for that hat trick just to be like, hey?
It's done like three times now, bro. I swear.
Just he didn't even extra motivation. Go break that against Arsenal.
In the Champions League, he had 5. He could have easily scored 6. It was like 30%.
That was no. That one I get. He was protecting his boy Messi. He said, "I ain't gonna have you snatch that record."
No, that's corny, man.
100%.
Okay,
you think Pep is not?
Messi has every flipping record in football, man. Let it go.
Pep is like, something.
I think he's trying to keep Haaland humble and hungry. I think that's really what I think as well. Yeah. But I love what you're saying about City. Like City, I'm watching them recently, and the first thing that came to my mind this weekend was like, I'm gonna bring to the NBA here. LeBron when he was on the Cavs, bro. In the East, like he knew that his team was gonna get to the finals, but he almost used that entire season, especially the start, the regular season, to kind of like look at the opposition and look at like his
even
team.
Game 1, feeler. He'll say game 1 of whatever game.
He's like he feels it out and like he's like even like he like analyzes everything and like it almost just builds up. And City in the past we've seen them start super strong and maybe towards the end, especially in the Champions League, they kind of like flame out. But the way City have kind of almost done it this year, and maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not. They are entering these last 10 games of the league, these last 4 or 5 games in the Champions League, these last 2 games in the FA Cup on red hot fire form. Like you talk about every year City go on this 11, 12,
they've already
13 games.
They've won 10 in a row.
But it's at the perfect time now, bro. They've hit their stride. They've got their momentum at the ideal time in all 3 competitions.
Yeah. And do you know what the funniest part of all of it is that you think, all right, you know everyone says it's 10 in a row. They don't end at 10, bro. City went and won 18 games in a
19,
row.
Yeah.
Who's gonna start them from winning 20? Like, who was it? They one thing this didn't last season they broke the record for most consecutive wins in English football or something. Was that 26?
I think they broke their own record, by the way.
So one thing we know about this City team is they break records. So it's like I saw somebody say like maybe they can take a little bit of comfort that what if City are doing this 10 game just a little bit too early. Because now they gotta go win 20. You can't even put a barrier. You can't even put a cap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there not a little bit of, I don't know when you lot saw when all the subs were made, for example, when they were 3-0 up, made like I think 4 subs at once, and Pep doesn't normally do that, but you saw the quality drop off a little bit.
Massive.
Is that kind of a little bit cause concern for City?
No.
Or is that kind of just
I don't think so.
It happens when you make this many subs, because I think it was Gomez he barely plays, Phillips who barely plays.
He brought on guys just for, I mean, that man
go get your legs. Laporte came out of nowhere.
This is to get your medal, bro. This is
literally, like, you got to remember, Ake, who's been important for them this season, he wasn't playing. Then he takes off Grealish, KDB, Haaland, and I can't even remember the other one he take. Rodri, was it? Yeah, Rodri.
Yeah, for Phillips,
Bloody hell, bro. This is their main men.
That's
you know what I mean? And by the way, Foden is somewhere in the map. We don't know where he is. He's got appendix. So that's another player that still needs to come back and be like, hey, what's going on for the postseason? You know what I mean? So, of course, the standard is going to drop off. I saw the XG. Like, I think Leicester had better XG than City. But I was like, the party started when everyone came off. One thing about City is injuries, it doesn't really affect them. It doesn't really affect them. It's the next man up, exactly. So this way we see Arsenal, they might have an injury and it can affect their squad. It doesn't matter, bro. Ake's gone. You're bringing in Laporte.
Yeah.
Bro, for me, he starts for every team in the league.
Literally.
Like, he probably starts for every team in the league.
True.
Like, what? Laporte. Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man.
No. So one thing I want to say about City, though, right? I want to give a shout out to some of these players that I think all throughout the season we've kind of been questioning, are they at their very best? You brought up Bernardo Silva at one point.
I remember, I went through I was like, Foden wasn't at the level. Bernardo, Gundo, KDB, Cancelo.
This is all in admission by Pep, by the way. Pep has called all these guys out at one point.
My whole point isn't to say they weren't playing like that. I'm going to give them flowers because, again, these players in the crunch time of the season where, like, all the chips are on the line. This is like win these games to win the title. They have kind of ascended. They've risen, like you always used to say. Gundo is playing like prime Gundo again. Bernardo Silva is coming in with big goals in the Champions League. KDB is back to the KDB we know. Yep. This is what champions do.
I feel like, though, this is why I've been saying, or even like I've become a Pep hype this season. You have to give him the credit for, getting that motivation back. Because we've always said, with them Barcelona teams, with them top teams, when they're winning year in, year out, keeping that motivation for the third, fourth, fifth. You're seeing it with Liverpool this year. That motivation can fall off a cliff. The fact that he's had to do that while finding a new system. And I'll be honest with you, now you're starting to almost see other teams copycat it a little bit. Their fullbacks are getting inverted. And I'm like, bro, this guy keeps dropping the gauntlet to us. Like, how can
he's influential. He's just too influential.
It's too much, man.
The league goes, and a lot of time the league goes by what Pep does.
Yeah.
It's the reality.
Football goes where
Gallo, it worked out today for us. But remember in the first minute, I was like, is he just standing inverted because we just have to do it now? You know what I mean? He had a good game, fair enough, and he got a goal, which is, thanks, Pep. You know what I mean?
But like, when did Pep do that? You remember that Arteta?
Oh, my Pep assistant. Listen, don't get it twisted.
What did he have Philip Lahm doing at Bayern?
Listen, Pep's youths in the games, they're big, man. Listen, Ten Hag,
but I've got a question, though.
Go ahead.
I've got a question, like, obviously, Haaland's broken the record. He's going to break it. He's going to obliterate it. And one thing that's getting on my nerves, actually, is they keep trying to say that, he ain't got the Premier League record. I'm like, listen, mate, he's coming for your boy Shearer, yeah, all right? Like, because they want to add the 42-game one as well. He's going to break that too. I know they wanted to keep the English man at top.
Yeah.
But is this going to be, like, obviously, I did a FTBL culture about the greatest individual debut seasons. Like, would this be the greatest season?
Yeah,
definitely. Is it better than N'Golo Kante, though?
No, you
N'Golo Kante at Leicester.
Yes.
I thought you meant from a full.
You think Haaland's? If he wins the league and breaks the record, obviously. Let's say he scores 37 league goals and they win the league.
Yeah, I think
it's better than N'Golo Kante.
The one I was gonna dispute, but
it's hard to deny. For sheer numbers, why? Because you can quantify it. I think.
But Kante's is more like eye test.
Kante's is more like eye test. You have to actually have seen those games to be able to say, I saw the impact of him doing two men's job in a game. Whereas I feel like with Haaland, no matter what point in history, you will just pull up the numbers and it will be like, that's got to be the greatest season. So
I don't know.
I get what you're saying, but it's a hard one. It's a hard one.
Let's start winning the Prem.
What's always going to go against Haaland, right, is because City won the league without him. N'Golo Kante went to a team that barely survived relegation. Okay, it's not just him. Mahrez and Vardy became like Super Saiyan. But he went from a team that was near the bottom and brought them to the top.
And the maddest part was for me is how he moved to Chelsea and did the same thing right after.
That's
I'm like, bro, you actually are the actual game changer. It's you. So
people in the comments. Right? Don't write yes. I don't know who you're saying yes to. Right? Kante or Haaland? Kante or Haaland? Just simple. Just say your name.
That's a good one.
So you think it'll be you think Haaland?
I think I'll go
The
Haaland.
one I was gonna dispute because I didn't really like remember that Salah wasn't his first season.
No, it wasn't his first season.
But I think the bigger question is like, where does this rank with the best Premier League seasons ever? Like, bro, we're talking about debut seasons. I think this is so great what he's done that it should be in the overall pool.
I think the reason it will be in the overall pool, but I think, listen, people don't like to hear these two words, but I test. I mean, hey, I'm sorry, man. When it comes to the I test, I would probably not say it's the best season I've ever seen in the Premier League. But that's what I'm saying. Debut season, it's better than Van Nistelrooy's and Aguero's probably and that, but N'Golo Kante.
That's a little more difficult to judge.
I can't lie to you. It's looking like a 50. For every 3 Haalands, you get 3 Kantes as well.
Hit the votes, people. Hit the votes. Damn, that is a tough one, though.
That's a good one. I can't lie to you.
It's a tough one.
We all expected Haaland to come in and score goals. Maybe we didn't all expect him to break the record his first season. But N'Golo Kante, that's like...
How much was Kante?
No, he was like 12 mil, I think, like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Vardy and Mahrez were super cheap.
They were, Mahrez was the 500k
one. But Kante, I mean, you looked at the signings that year, bro. We were looking at Gohan Inler, I remember, when Leicester signed him. We weren't looking at N'Golo Kante. So in terms of like what surprised you and what took the world by storm, we could have maybe predicted that Haaland would score 30 goals in all comps this year or something like that.
Because, with Haaland, exactly, the expectation of Haaland is like,
goals.
Yeah, you know it's gonna happen. Like, it's inevitable. The only person was that guy that was on Saturday Social.
He's like, respect the institution.
Yeah, that guy that was on Saturday
Rory
Social.
Jennings.
Oh yeah, and he was like just saying the man. He's like the only one.
Yeah,
I thought Haaland's not gonna.
We need to
goals.
respect the institution of the Premier League.
The institution,
the Canes,
when they talk about Prem tards.
Yeah, the institution. This is what I'm saying. But so he was the only one. But Kante, each week, you're like, what is this guy on, bro? Like, what is he? He's tackling your favorite midfielder. He's crashing your. I was like, what is this, bro? So I don't know, man. It's a tough one.
That's a tough one. But big up Super Chats before we move on to the next game as well. Ben the Streets Arthur. I feel like this is actually a perfect question that he said.
This guy's a real one, bro.
He says, "What kind of players were you back in the day?"
What kind of players were we?
Yeah. Huh? If you had to compare yourself to a player, who you were when you were playing.
Who are we?
Who are you comparing yourself?
You know, I've had phases.
Oh, now we're gonna see how big egos are.
Ooh.
What position did you play at least?
It was the DM role, you know what I mean? DM, little get on the
young
ball,
Endom?
make
What
things
you?
You know,
I've seen clips of Cam. I can't like. He gives me shades of Endom,
bro.
He gives me shades of Endom.
I can't play.
He's techie, but he's lazy as well.
Bro,
so he gives me big Endom vibes. I swear to you. Like I remember when I saw it, I was like,
I don't know. That's a tough question. I gotta think about that. Yeah, I gotta think about it.
What were you saying?
Me, I played in midfield, right? I played as like an 8.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you. What does that mean, bro?
He just wants to hate.
This is waiting to pass. I don't know what player I played like. I can tell you the players that the player I really wanted to watch when I was younger. I'll give you the name was Marquisio. Obviously, I'm not Marquisio, but that kind of role, like maybe not like the creator like Pogba, the pulling the strings deeper, but a little does a little bit of everything, bro.
I know you were hard working, man.
Me,
stamina type guy. You know that Algerian.
Bro, I can't lie.
you know, good passing, works hard, like does the job for the team.
You know what he is? He's your typical Spanish midfielder, 08 circa 12.
Illaramendi.
Yeah, you know them, man. Them Santi Cazorla's there, like sharp on the turn. Why did you disrespect yourself like
Sergio
that?
Canales. I don't know, 08, 12. I wasn't Xavi, I wasn't Iniesta. Who's left?
Man, I would probably say Pepe myself.
Bro, you know who you were.
I
seen Phil play.
Guy, yeah.
I saw Phil play. Listen, let me land. I saw Phil. I'm telling you now, and it's not even dissing.
Oh my god.
The guy plays like Wan-Bissaka, bro.
Why does he
the guy
plays so disrespectful.
Bro,
you know
why is it disrespectful?
From a defensive side, I'll take it. But the thing is, he's discounting all the technical ability. He's going on like I've got no time. Bro, man was weaving regularly past 2-3 guys.
That's what Wan-Bissaka does.
Why? Doing that? No, with finesse, not kick and run.
No, I'm telling you, was like Wan-Bissaka. Like,
Cam's a hater.
Listen,
Cam's a certified hater.
Let me tell you. I swear to you, the guy could go past people with. He'll have his long legs to do his slide tackles. He was loving getting in the mixer, but the passing was. The passing ability was.
Are you mad? Did I not put two man through on a plate and they missed it?
I'm gonna find out because you know we got the SDSFC coming. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna report to you. I'm gonna give you the scout report, bro.
This summer we're gonna be bringing you some. You're gonna see who can play ball and who can't, man. Hey, listen.
It was a bit.
Let's move on anyway. Let's get back to the real football at hand.
Davinson Sanchez a little bit as well. You know what I mean?
Hey, don't do that. David Luiz, I thought I was.
Emerson. He's a little bit.
You gotta punch him in the face.
Don't joke with that.
No, I'm joking.
Don't joke with that.
No, Wan-Bissaka. I swear.
So you thought about yourself now. Who are you?
Gosh, I'm a mixture of a few players. You know what I mean? And the thing is, obviously, I was the captain of all my teams as well. So
Captain Hyper, Lee Cattermole.
It's a tough one, man. I gotta think. Listen, we'll play and people will see it.
Say less. Make sure you're subscribed to all the channels. Hey, listen, like the video as well if you're in here, man. There's how many people in the chat, man? There's over 1,000.
I might even be a little bit of a Clarence Seedorf myself, you know, to be fair. I ain't gonna lie,
This guy don't even rate Clarence Seedorf.
I was just about to say.
Might be a little Seedorf thing, you know.
This guy, Clarence Seedorf's hold on, Clarence Seedorf.
Look what it does to them.
Clarence Seedorf's fitness compared to you. Don't do that, bro.
Please, man. Hey, listen. Anyway,
listen. You know, you're from the ends, man. You ain't got no fitness, man.
I'll find out about you.
You find out, bro.
Listen.
I'm verified.
Let's move on. You touched on Emerson Royale. Let's move on to that side of North London, and I don't know how you don't want to take this. You guys are not.
Let me ask you. Actually.
I mean, it's.
What is going on, bro? What is going on? It's funny because I randomly found myself watching content of Spurs creators. I don't know how I end up in that neck of the woods.
He falls
but
down these weird
bro,
wormholes.
do you know what it is? Yeah, I go in the shower. Yeah, I just leave one thing on, and then
it goes on to
I'm
another.
just hearing next man, and I'm just like, all right, cool. I was seeing easy win against Bournemouth. You know what I mean? Easy win, blah blah. And I was like, all right, cool. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And then when I saw what was going on, it just gave us confidence. But how for you are you feeling? Because I feel like it's a weird position that you lot are in, because no manager is Stellini. Like,
that was basically one caretaker schooling another caretaker was how I saw it. Because you got to remember, Gary O'Neill was a caretaker.
And doing an amazing job, by the way.
An amazing job. And the thing is, it's yesterday I saw one caretaker who showed tactically what he's doing. He looked at our weaknesses and said, right, they're lacking in midfield. They're lacking in grit. They ain't got really much spine. We're going to press them high. We're going to go at them. And they actually look like the home team. For me, the issue I have with Stellini here is I feel like it's almost a shame in how he's handling this opportunity he's given. And I know he's your boy.
I'm joke about that.
Yeah, I know. We will joke about it and shit. But I feel like, when you've been given a caretaker role, it's almost like an opportunity for you to show who you are as a manager.
True.
For you to say, do you know what? All right, I was Conte's assistant, but here's what I can do.
More than that.
Here's a few
Look what
tactics
Michael
I can
Carrick
bring.
did. He
Yes,
in that short time.
absolutely. So for me, it's a case of, I feel like you're throwing away this opportunity to not only, now after you leave this role, the best you can hope for is going back to being Conte's bitch. After that, no one's going to hire you as a serious manager, because what you've done now is essentially taken his formula that wasn't working and given us a shitter version of it. What you've pushed Son 5 yards further forward. Bro, we still look just as lackluster as before. And that's my thing for me. It's like there's been no initiative taken. And the problem is, it's the board are making bad decisions in picking Stellini to stay on. And then you've got him, in my eyes, doing poor tactical decisions within the game as well. So it's like, I don't even know where to blame or who to blame, because like yesterday you had Davinson Sanchez was.
What do you think about that, though, man?
Got subbed on, got subbed off.
Look, I saw all the fans and stuff. I don't know. Maybe every club, you made a tweet about every club have that player that radiates nerves through the team. 100% facts. But I mean, like, bro,
do you know what it is?
You guys, there's so many people that have been bad this season, and I've barely seen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he hasn't played that much.
He has not played that much.
And then he ends up being the boo boy. I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Every time he has played, the same thing I'm saying. Similar like Maguire, like you lot say. Just naturally radiates nerves, brings that nervous energy. And you saw it yesterday. Simple 5 yards pass to him sideways. His first touch, he doesn't even control it. It rolls through his legs.
It's crazy.
If you're a forward now, you sniff that. You're like, oh, this motherfucker's shaky.
That's cash money.
Poor pass to Porro, gets tackled, vroom, cooked. The second goal, Tavernier, absolutely shimmy right, left, where you want to go, cooked. So both goals you are actually to blame for. So the thing is people are saying, oh, it's harsh from Spurs fans. And don't get me wrong, I think abusing or kind of like throwing too much abuse at any player is difficult to take. And I'm not saying it's warranted, but brother, you are not helping yourself, and you never ever seem to help yourself.
He was crying on the bench.
I actually felt bad for him, because I'm like, listen, no, you don't. It's the humanization of a player, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to treat man like shit. But bro, you literally cost us those 2 goals, and for me, even at that moment though, I blame Stellini for putting Sanchez in that situation. I blame the club for not having gotten rid of Sanchez, because he's not been good for 4 years now. This is not the first time the fans have booed him, but new year contract, you keep offering him. You keep telling him, hey, new manager, you can build around this guy. And you keep putting him in the situation to be the sacrificial lamb for us to take all our frustrations out on him. And yesterday, he gave us an excuse to take our frustration out on him. That moment there, when you can see we were 1-0 up at that point when Sanchez is coming on, we're starting to lose a bit of control in the game. What should you do as a manager? Read the game and say, do you know what? Pape Sarr, you've played well. Go and get in there. Get in the midfield. Get busy.
That's what I was telling him about Tuchel and Upamecano. The same thing. Get him out of the firing line.
Absolutely. Yeah. You saw Danjuma came on.
It's because he came on as a sub.
That's the thing.
That's the tough
But Danjuma comes on in the second half. He gives you a bit of impetus. That's the change you should be making for Sanchez. Changing the game then. But instead, you bring Sanchez on. Now you've left him like a sacrificial lamb. Bro, everyone's to blame there in my eyes. The coach, the board for keeping this guy around, and Sanchez himself, I'm sorry. When you're doing bozo-ness, I can't let you run away from that. So
the last three Spurs players to get booed. Sanchez, Mora, and Ndombele, and Emerson Royale. but Dyers and that get away with it.
Hey, do you know why? Because Dyer doesn't get subbed off. He stays on for the 90 minutes. He's lucky. Trust me.
I'm seeing a pattern. And Dom, Emerson Royale, Lucas Moura, and Sanchez.
You said,
No comment.
do Black Lives Matter?
Pick it out. Troy Townsend, rise, please.
Hey, no.
Rise, please, yo.
No. I'm sorry. None of those guys have covered themselves in any glory. And listen, another one who should be getting booed as well. The flop of the season.
Thank you. I was going to ask you about
60 million
it.
man, Birdman, Prue. I'm sorry, you can get all the
yeah.
How many disallowed goals has he had this season?
Bro,
I'm sure he's had like 5 or 6.
Forget about even the disallowed goal. And this is where
But
I'm saying you
how
can.
many sitters are you also
thank
going
you.
to fucking
Thank you.
miss?
Yo, but
Thank
he,
you.
how
You're
many
brought
disallowed goals
on.
has he had though?
Like 5 or 6, genuinely.
Yo,
bro,
he's
you-
getting trolled. He
No.
did something.
Now, VAR.
There's a sin that
But
he
he had this
committed.
one cigarette something, right?
He's being punished, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Somebody has his voodoo doll in somewhere in Brazil or Peru, wherever he's from,
Bro,
and
no.
he's pressing the thing, bro.
Every week
Sorry,
he
go
just
on.
shows
It's
you
R9.
why he's not at this level, though. No, it's the truth. It's the truth, bro. R9 came to
Don't
watch
ever
and
use
said,
my nickname
"Don't
in
ever in your life.
It's when he went and rubbed his knee.
Cuz.
Remember he rubbed his knee. He said, "Hey, bro, that knee got me no goals after a while, bro. I went on a drought. You can have him."
No, honestly, I feel like week after week, he shows why he is not cut out for this level. I always felt like when he was at Everton, this is the level you're at. Getting 13, 12 goals for a mid-table club, you are not going to be the guy to push us over the edge. That's why I was so angry with the deal.
No, but
over
this is
summer.
beyond. This is beyond.
This is now... I'm
This is
sorry,
beyond. This
that-
is beyond push over the edge talk.
Bro.
0 Premier League goals.
Did you see the...
0 Premier
Yeah,
League
that's bad.
goals.
Bro,
He could have won you the game at the end.
3 yards out, headed
I'm
wide.
sick, yeah, of seeing Anthony, all these names. Bro, I'm already
Nunez,
seeing Mudryk, yeah, in flop of the season talk. Nunes, who has 14 goals, 6 assists or something like that. And Richarlison not making these graphics. ESPN, Footy Troll, all these pages. Please put Richarlison front line, bro.
Facts. Yes,
0 Premier League. If he goes the whole season with a blank, yo, that's worth signing all time.
Easily.
All time.
They're saying about Sancho.
Easily
007,
one of the
this guy's
worst.
0031, bro.
Bro, this
That's what I'm saying.
Bro,
When people were cooking
on, man.
Mudryk and Gakpo, I said, yo, we're
He's done it
laughing
10
at
times
007.
over.
Yeah,
We've
Richarlison-
got 0027 here.
Richarlison got the whole
bro.
James Bond
and they're like,
series, bro.
No, he's got 2 assists.
2 assists in Champions
Wow,
League.
double
Get outta here, man.
0231, bro.
Bro,
Is that better?
It's actually so embarrassing. And that game for me was just another summation of at home where you kind of take the lead and you just wait for and invite pressure. And Bournemouth, credit to them, bruv. They just came and bopped us.
Yes, Fuad, you were what? You got it to 2-2 at one point. Luckily so, I will say. Like, I don't think you deserved it. You guys are pushing for the equalizer, or pushing for the winner, The way you guys conceded that last goal is typical Spurs.
It is
Like,
typical.
you could write it.
Bro,
Big
always
Steve's in the chat.
It's always going.
Big up
for
Big
it.
Steve. He's in
There
the
you go.
chat. He's in the chat. See, I gave him a name drop. I name dropped him earlier. You weren't here.
I popped up like Thanos.
Yeah, you popped up too late, man.
Summoned them.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, the word goes around. You know what I mean? When Cam speaks.
They're like, hey, slander
Guy,
me.
man.
No, but literally, as you said, I just feel like it's been so typical of what Spurs have been all season, where it's you take the lead, you invite the pressure, and then you go for the game too late, but then you get caught out at the back, and in nonsensical fashion, you just concede a silly goal. Højbjerg, once again, another
Oh
one
my
who
God.
is, I just feel like, just covers himself in so much shit. And I'm usually a fan of the passion and all this, but brother, you cannot even do the basics this year. There's so much going wrong at this club. I couldn't even tell you where to fix it at the Spurs.
I feel sorry for you lot because I don't see an overhaul even happening.
Yeah, which is
That's
what's needed.
Didn't I say it's gonna take 2 years?
Yeah, but I feel like the only way an overhaul is happening is if you sell Kane, because that money will force the next manager to be like, all right, I've got 100 or something million. I got 100 million to spend. What can I do with this? What can I do with that? But the scary part is, if you do not sell Harry Kane, I just don't see you guys, a new manager coming in, Levy, just freeing up the funds and telling uncomfortable conversations for certain players. It's time for you to go. I just don't see it. I think the only possibility is if you kind of cash in on Kane, and that kind of feels like the end of era.
Yeah.
And that's also when the fans will be on your back
End
too.
of
Like,
an era. Yeah.
that'll be
I
an unpopular
genuinely
decision.
feel like everybody said, oh, this is the Pochettino era or whatever. I've always felt like this is the Harry Kane era. Of
course.
When Harry Kane leaves is when you'll feel like there's almost like a new chapter since that early Pochettino days starting again, as you said, literally. And I think it's going to be another what Arsenal have gone through, like, we're going to have to go through wilderness because we're not a club that's financially backed. We're not a club that's currently got a manager.
You don't have
the
prestige.
Board is, we don't have that prestige or history to lure players in. So we're almost going back to ground zero. And when I'm seeing teams like Fulham, Brighton, and even Aston Villa now, all
Brighton, Fulham, and them,
I'm just like, all right, well, we're top 4 now. And I've said all season, have I not said we're only here because the other teams are bad?
Yeah.
As soon as everybody starts to pattern up, this will take shape and we will drop out.
I feel like everyone at this club have kind of packed it in a little bit. I feel like everyone's kind of packed it in. Like when the goals were going in, I was looking at the reaction of like Romero and some of the players. Everyone just looks like they just want the season to end.
No, but Cam, when you look, I wasn't a fan of Antonio Conte. Everyone knows that. But when you get, or however the divorce happened, when Antonio Conte leaves your club with 12, 13 games left to go,
there's nothing to play for.
But hold on, there was something still to play for. You guys were mathematically still in a top 4 race, but when you affected
the top 4,
right. So when you sack Antonio Conte, if that's what happens, and your replacement with still a good amount of the season left is Stellini. What intent? Like that doesn't tell me that you have intentions of taking the season over.
But even if you say that, like what Phil said in the beginning, he's got to come in and be like, listen, I know it's been a shit show. Let me listen to all you lot's concerns about what's been going on this season. This is how we're going to do it. All right, cool. You guys want to play more offensive? You guys want to... I don't know what the situation... Cool, I'm going to be the one that allows you guys to do that. Cool. But the fact that he's come in and he's still kind of doing the same... I'm still seeing Harry Kane pick up the ball in DM and trying to...
But Cam, I go back to what Fuad said. I don't blame Stellini. Stellini is a nobody, bro. I blame the board for giving him the caretaker job till the rest of the season.
But who was Gary O'Neill? Who was Gary O'Neill?
Yeah, and that's my thing.
Who was Gary O'Neill?
Opportunity, bro. I feel like you have to take it. And Stellini, and that's where I'm like, you've almost fumbled this opportunity.
Of course, I agree.
To kind of say, you know what? All right, forget the back 5. We're just going to give you... I feel like the fans would have been so much more onside. Now, I can't stand the sight of him. Him and Mason on my touchline. What is this going to produce?
I blame the board more than anyone.
This is why I said, even like when the Conte thing was happening, I was like, yo, I don't know if it's a smart move to get rid, because what do you benefit from getting rid? And people are like, oh, you get a new manager bounce or a new fuel.
If you go hire Nagelsmann, sure you get a manager bounce. That's what I'm saying.
If it's this situation, there you go.
I just don't understand how Ryan Mason can even be a coach at Spurs, because with all due respect, like,
oh my god,
like he's 34, I believe it is, right? He's 34. I'm sorry, you were not a good player at Spurs, right?
Yeah, he's not even a legend at Spurs.
You're not a legend. You weren't
not a cult hero.
Why? On God's green earth would Harry Kane listen to Ryan Mason? He'll be like, bro, I remember when you were getting my water bottles. Do you know what I mean? I remember when I needed a drink and the first person I look at the bench was Ryan Mason.
Yeah.
Ryan. And he'll be like, oh, yeah, you go, Harry. Go on, Harry. Yeah, I mean, I don't get what. And now you're gonna and now you're gonna be telling me, yo, Harry, you're dropping too deep, mate. I'll be, brother, go get your badges, mate. You know what I mean? Allow it. I don't see how he can be a coach at Spurs personally.
That's what I'm saying. I think Spurs basically threw the season with 15 games left to play, bro. For me, that's if I'm Harry Kane, this is why I keep going back to him. People keep saying, oh, if they sell Kane, he needs to push for a move, bro. They literally just threw the season away with 15 games left to go. They're not serious about this anymore, bro.
Listen, Harry Kane, the Spurs situation, I think this summer is going to be...
It's become untenable.
An implosion.
But let's move on from Spurs.
Yeah, let's move on.
Someone that had a team that had a massive result this weekend, a massive one. We'll get into Chelsea probably towards the... I think I don't know how long we've been shooting anyway, but Unai Emery and Aston Villa. What a performance!
3-0.
3-0 to a Newcastle team that were absolutely flying, bro. Absolutely flying. Everyone's talking about Sven Botman and this. The performance that they put out, they matched them physically on the board. They were much better. And the performance of Ollie Watkins.
Bro, from minute 1, you saw it.
That was a must-go. Listen, I said it was the best striker performance I've seen this season. People were angry.
I agree.
People were saying Haaland against Man United. Bro, Foden got a hat-trick that day too. It was a party. Salah went and done the exact same thing. 3 goals.
It's a party in their city.
You know what I mean? It was literally, it was a parade in our city, in the city, literally. But I just think, going into that game, people were talking about Sven Botman and Shah and stuff for the team of the year. Newcastle, I think, had the second best defense or whatever it was. Yeah. They're flying. And Ollie Watkins not only gets 3 goals and assists, by the way, because he hit the post. He had a disallowed goal. He ran them ragged. His hold-up play, each time they got the ball, they looked to him. He was winning the first. He was winning the second. I just think it was an all-round top performance, bro.
I agree.
you know, people will say recency because they'll just look and think who scored the most goals in a game. Oh, Haaland got 5 goals and assists. That means it's the best one. No, we just called Haaland arguably the best
goal scorer
or whatever we've seen or whatever. But I just think in an individual game, Ollie Watkins was special, bro.
I think he's got 11 in his last 12 games as well.
He's going like goal for goal of Rashford since the World Cup. He's been actually that influential.
Haaland, he's got 12.
Yeah. No, 100%.
He's got the same as
100%. I agree with you about Watkins, to be honest, because I even said I had this take, and people were getting mad at me. They were saying, "Oh, it's Kane, it's Tony, it's Jesus." I believe, and I've been saying this. I found tweets from years ago. With his back to goal or with his back to defenders, protecting the ball, I think he's the best purely at that, not at all-around forward play. He's the best at protecting the ball and holding up the ball in the league at his position. I think he's the best at that. Now, others can do more with it when they protect the ball. Like Kane can obviously spin you. Jesus, the same thing. But purely the art of hold-up play, I think it's Watkins, bro. And I agree with you. When you talk about overall 9 performance, Haaland scored you 3, 4, 5. But sometimes we come away from those games saying, oh, he touched the ball like 8 times. We completed 3 passes. Like, he's not really doing much with the ball. Watkins, bro, influenced the game so much from the number 9 position, which you don't really see that much in the modern game. So I agree with you, bro. That's the best overall striker performance in the league.
There was something, I think it's something that Ivan Toney versus Man City.
He had a great one. When they wanted to get the
Etihad. As well. But I just wanted to give them a shout for what they're doing.
I was going to say as well, even in a post-game interview, though, he said, like, because I'm giving massive credit to Unai for this turning form as well, because he said, previously we said he almost does the Mandzukic role sometimes. He's made this target and wide role his thing, and that was maybe to facilitate a Danny Ings. Danny Ings, get out of here. Go to West Ham. Now, Watkins, you're in the 9. And he said yesterday after the game, now I'm moving less into the channels. Now I'm staying more in the box.
And he's making some really intelligent runs between the between the center backs. His like I said, his
quick,
bro, he's powerful.
And do you feel like this is the first time almost he's tapping into that Watkins that was at Brentford? I feel like since he came to the Premier League,
but he's got double figures in every single season.
No, he has, but I feel like he's almost been marked as this like, oh, he's more of a physical battering ram up front rather than a goal scorer.
Like a Che Adams kind of. He was like an OP Che Adams, you know what I mean?
Like, whereas Tony is seen as like this goal scorer. And Tony, let's be honest, was his replacement at Brentford.
Oh, yeah.
And has taken over kind of goals-wise. But now Watkins is kind of getting back to that level where, as you're saying, you're looking at these two like, yo, these are the natural replacements for after England as well. But massive credit to them because Newcastle, I think 5 wins on a bounce they had before that game as well.
I do think just Emery, we obviously done a bonus episode the other day, but I just think he just deserves credit, man. Like
he's the man. Like, if Arteta didn't exist this year, people are still saying, oh, if he doesn't win the league, is he? I think Arteta's the manager of the year. If he didn't exist, it'd be Unai Emery for me.
You think Arteta's the man even if they don't win the league?
Yeah, because no one even had them even coming close to this kind of stuff. It's the same thing with Villa. Villa, he took them over near relegation. I don't know if it's the same after United.
He's doing a better job. De Zerbi or
that's what people were bringing up too. I think
De Zerbi picks up a happy squad.
Yes, but he's also
Emery picks up a De Zerbi.
It's true.
De Zerbi's a nomination, but not.
Yeah, I have Emery because again, you took them from relegation, and then before today they were 6 points off the top 4. That's crazy.
You seen the football Brighton are playing?
That's what I'm saying. De Zerbi, people keep saying, he just took over from Potter. He has players that were under Potter were non-factors, balling out. Mitoma, Evan Ferguson, even McAllister has gone up a level since the World Cup.
Who's this brother that just scored the screamer?
And Cisco, the new one off the conveyor belt, bro. Straight from Paraguay, they said.
So and I think actually long term, I think his football is maybe a bit more sustainable in terms of I could see Brighton under him with these players continuing to fight for where they are.
There's been some good man. You think De Zerbi? You think
Thomas Frank? Eddie Howe for sure.
Thomas Frank, you think Arteta? You think Emery? This obviously Pep is going to take him out when lead this.
Gary O'Neill, if he keeps Bournemouth up, bro, we've all been for weeks saying Bournemouth are guaranteed to go down. Them and Southampton. They said Southampton, hype, bro. We're staying up.
Top 4 in the relegation zone, you can't pick it, man. Every week it changes.
Well, but listen, if we're having worst man this season, it'll be Chelsea, innit? Anyone else employed by Chelsea
might not even have.
They're lucky.
For Chelsea today.
They're 11th. We don't got time to talk about table
teams. Let us know your thoughts on the Chelsea and Brighton game because that was 1-0. Obviously, briefly touch on it.
2-1, right?
2-1.
What was it 2-1? Sorry, 2-1. But listen, Brighton, I thought deserved it at the end of the day.
Of course, they
deserve it. Absolutely. Deserved it. I like what you did. Listen, before we get to the champs and does, let me just rattle through these jazz quickly as well. Obvious comment says 13 unbeaten in the league without Felix now.
Oh, Atletico.
Yeah.
It's an Atletico fan in there.
Blame Simeone.
I told them, don't ever turn your back on real men. Yeah. Alex Stocks, big up yourself as well. He says, this is towards Elias's new pair of Air Forces. Sends a £5 super chat. He says,
these ain't, my God.
Busted player.
Yeah, these are cooked, bro. I didn't know they were in the shop, bro.
Oh, man.
He's on the, Fuad's one of them hipsters. You know? Hey. He's on that Shoreditch kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Wants to look homeless, but he's got money. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying?
You got me.
Big up Punit as well. He says, the Sanchez thing is on the coaching staff and Levy. The fan base got more energy for singing for Poch and abusing our players than chanting for Levy out. Fairs, I hear it. And then Bassett 1%, he says, rank 1 to 6, Gvardiol, Fofana, Saliba, Araujo, Konate, De Ligt.
This guy's been asking us to do this one, to be fair.
What?
Yeah, because I think we missed it.
Gvardiol, Fofana, Saliba, Araujo, Konate, De Ligt. Rank them.
Hold on.
Araujo's first.
Yeah.
Konate second.
De Ligt, you said Militao and...
No Militao.
Gvardiol and who else?
Gvardiol, yeah. Saliba and Fofana.
Let me see.
Ooh, that's a tough
Man
one.
coming with big
To be fair, he's asked this 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
He's asked this 3 weeks in a row. We have to answer it, bro.
In the meantime, think of your champs or duds.
Gvardiol, Fofana, Saliba, Araujo, Konate, De Ligt.
I think I can pick the first three.
Who's
Araujo, Konate, and
I don't know. How did Fofana sneak into this conversation?
Hey.
He's sneaking in through
Don't
the
do
back
that.
door.
Don't do that.
Recently, against Madrid, he was...
Where's
against
Fofana? He's sneaking in through the back door,
Madrid, he
man.
was suspect.
We're just coming back. We're just coming back.
Yeah, I'm putting De Ligt up there, to be honest with you, bro.
I had a lot of De Ligt stocks.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Yeah,
I think I agree. Araujo
Araujo
first.
Who's in that?
Konate for me second.
Saliba, Konate.
I'd say Saliba third, De Ligt fourth, Gvardiol fifth.
I know, bruv.
And then Fofana sixth.
Hey, I don't know.
Gvardiol's rep. Gvardiol rep
Fofana
got hit recently.
Listen, champs and duds.
My dud, absolutely. It has to be. I'm sorry. It's got to be my guy Frank Lampard. I mean, Jesus Lord, did you just decide because you're a Chelsea legend, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the club? Why did you endure this, bro?
Yo, you was co-signing when you get it. Oh, Super Frank, welcome home.
My guy, Frank.
Friend, 3 losses in a week.
Hey,
how happy are you now?
I like the guy. I like the player. I ain't ever picked up his management. Right? You know what I mean? Listen, I don't understand why he would decide to just come and be a sacrificial lamb for all of the hate and stuff. But the thing is, to be fair, the fans ain't really getting onto him too much. But it's like, what? You came in to lose 3 in a row, bro. You're losing your next game too, and you're losing the next one too. Bro, I can't even see a win in your whole tenure, bro. You know what I mean? I'm being dead serious. It is absolutely spooky. And all this done, I think he's got 1 win in his last 18 matches as a manager.
Yeah.
Lamps. Punditry is available, bro.
Hey, man.
Punditry.
How many times have I told you this?
You know, like when you like in Bad Boys or something, hand over your badge, bro. Lamps, just give me your badges, bro. Hand him over. The punditry is there. The Zone are coming through.
Sky Sports is waiting for you.
Premier League are trying to get their own new streaming sites. Hey, do go there, man, please.
Is he the worst? Is he the worst manager in Premier League history?
Lamps could have been the successor for Gary Lineker eventually for Match of the Day, but he's kind of ruined that now. You know what I mean? Well spoken, a professional man, IQs off the charts apparently.
Could have done La Liga with the Spanish as well.
You know what I mean? He could have been the new Graham Hunter. But now what?
Dud. There's only one name, to be honest with you. It's Dayo Upamecano. Upamecano is the dud of the week. Yeah, he is my boy, but I got
fair play to him.
I got enough humility to step up to the stage and say, Upamecano, you are the dud of the week, bro. I mean, I already said it on Final Whistle. I've been someone who's sung his praises all year. I think this year has been kind of a redemption year for him. But all of the good work, in my opinion, that he's done rebuilding his reputation has been ripped apart and thrown into the ocean in 90 minutes. And I told Kim, Champions League is dangerous because people watch you for the first time all season and they create a good narrative around you, no matter how bad you've been or good, or bad narrative around you, good or bad. And Upamecano, to ever rebuild or be seen as a top defender, no matter what he does, he could have an amazing Bundesliga year. He will have to put together a stellar...
What he did at the World Cup.
No, better than that. Yeah. His team would have to win, and he'd have to actually be even better than that. From match day 1 to the final, he has to put in Cannavaro. He has to have Cannavaro 2006 World Cup to ever get his reputation back. So you're the dud, bro. I'm sorry.
Duds, as much as I'd like to say, as much say, I would say Spurs, but that's the regular. They've been getting duds every. I want to give champs to Bournemouth and Gary O'Neill. I felt like caretaker schooling another caretaker, coming into our home ground and tactically getting it spot on.
Yeah.
Oh no, man, that's champ worthy.
I don't think there's even that many other champs.
Yeah, let me just see if there's any others.
Super chats. It depends what side you sit on. Actually, it depends what side you sit on, because when you hear that Leroy, first Sane's a dud for getting punched up. Yeah,
facts.
Getting punched up, not doing
Boss
nothing back, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Boss lip coming out looking silly.
Shit,
you know what I'm saying?
He rocked the shit.
Mane dealt with him like, listen, little boy, don't you listen.
If what he said is true as well,
yeah, then he's a super dud.
So
then that's the thing. Do we give Mane champ, or we give him dub for being in this situation? What we give
Mane is champ for
if the
punching man up.
If it's true,
and then if it's true, you are champ of the season, my brother.
They're saying that's the first time Mane hit the target all season, though, bro.
He's becoming a Mane hater.
Me?
I'm watching.
His game is fugazi these days, bro. I'll be real. Hey, big up for if Sane said it's true, big up, but you're a dud, bro.
Hey, Anthony this week as well. Champ, I gotta give you as well.
Anthony,
Good performance.
Yeah.
Champ is a bit much,
for this performance, I will. I know you will.
And it's obviously final. It'll gotta be Erling Haaland. Congratulations for matching the Premier League record. Well, in the 38th season.
Do you know who's another one as well that's coming for a record? KDB. Don't sleep on it. I think he's got the assist.
He's
one.
5 off the assist record, or 5 off.
7 games to go.
He's 5 off equaling it again. He's on 15 right now.
6 off it, bro.
That's 6
Haaland
lobs. That's 6 lobs.
He's got to look up.
Come on.
Yeah, that's 6 lobs.
He's coming for that.
What's that one? Fuck it, Haaland down there somewhere.
That last game of the season, if the title was done by then, wow. It's going to be like when Devin Booker got his Give him the ball. Give him the ball. Let him facilitate. Give him the ball.
You know what they say about this time of the season, right? It's the everybody eats part of the season, bro. So De Bruyne about to have a buffet, bro.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. Listen, that's all we have time for this week anyway, people. Appreciate you joining us as usual. Make sure you like the stream as you're leaving. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe to
people are saying Hakimi champ. Right, you even know why his guy is divorcing him.
Is there any more super chats, man?
Actually, let me just double check, see if we do have any more
champ hype.
Twitter's crazy, bro.
No more.
It's the Andrew Tate. See, it's Andrew Tate, man. He's poisoning the streets.
You know. I've been warning these kids, man.
Hey, they were calling you.
Yeah, I know.
Culture Tate.
I have no idea why. I don't know. I have no idea.
I was talking about alpha males and real men. That's why.
Oh shit.
They flipped real men into alpha males.
Man.
Hey, top G community, you know.
Well, listen, people. Listen, that's all we got time for this week anyway. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Monday morning, the audio will be out as well. Make sure you go check that out. 5-star on audios if you can. If not, go to the YouTube. If the visuals, drop a like, drop a comment, share your thoughts. People, we are out this week. We'll see you back again next week. Take care.
Peace.